Alternatives to Fossil Fuels by Shelby Heitkamp. Why is there a need for an alternative? The extreme use of fossil fuels has created a huge amount of carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases released them into our atmosphere. These gases cause the atmosphere to heat. The more fossil fuels we use, the more heating is happening. Burning of fossil fuels releases carbon monoxide into the atmosphere. Over 90% of greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide. We will also run out of petroleum in the next 30 years and crude oil by 2050. Types of alternatives. There are 4 generations of alternatives to fossil fuels. Each one is unique but builds from the prior alternative. First generation. The first alternative generation of biofuels was produced by the fermentation of food crops. The process was too unpredictable because of the rising population and need for agriculture. These crops include corn, cassava, cane sugar, and other crops. Second generation. The second generation is similar to the first. It consisted of finding crops that were high in starch and using fermentation to turn them into biofuels. Starchy crops are easily available and cheap. Third generation. Microalgae was the third generation alternative. It has a high lipid count, creates its own carbohydrates. They have absorbed carbon dioxide from burning fossil fuels, and it is suitable to become biodiesel fuel because of its 30 to 70% oil. This is the most popular alternative to fossil fuels. Fourth generation. The fourth generation alternative is genetically modified algae. This algae is supposed to speed up the production of biofuel. Here is a diagram showing all the positives about the genetically modified algae. Other alternatives. Nuclear power is another alternative being considered. It is not a popular option because of all the possible negatives. Some of the positives about nuclear power is it has a high production capacity and would allow us to create more electricity faster. It uses uranium from rocks, and it is made to withstand any types of attacks. Some negatives are high construction cost, radioactive waste, and the possibility of something going wrong, for example, Chernobyl. Here are my references.